Her name is Aliza Pollack, and she has more than 15 years of qualitative experience across a range of marketing and innovation issues. A creative thinker with a deep passion for the process, she thrives on immersing herself into consumers' worlds, uncovering insights, and identifying differentiated opportunities for clients. Past clients have included Philips, Sony, AT&T, GM, and BMW. She is the president of Qualitative Research of Added Value. So let's welcome Aliza.
The title of our presentation is Getting the Most Out of Mobile Insights, or How We Got Over the Incredibly Inspiring Awesomeness of Mobile Qual and Learned to Develop Some Killer New Insights Approaches. Yes, it is an expectation-laden title, and it reflects the expectation-laden process that we've been through, and I thought that it would be helpful to share with you, just to show you what we went through and what we've learned. So what led us to this incredibly inspiring awesomeness of mobile qual? Like a lot of people that we've heard today, we've had some really demanding clients who are saying to us, give us something that we don't know. We work on a lot of brands that have been researched, so we really have to dig for those things that we don't know. But also when we ask ourselves internally what's going on, what is it that we want, we've said, you know, we're good, we're great, but we're missing some details, we really are, because we can't be with consumers all the time, and sometimes when you talk about the experiences, you're changing the dynamic of the experience. People are recalling it, they're not living it, they're not acting in it. And we want to try and meet people as much as possible where they are, not when they're at their computer, not when they're at the facility, not even when they're at their homes and we're there with them. So we thought to ourselves, okay, well, let's leverage this appendage, this thing that they carry with them all the time, and these applications that they feel so great and so comfortable and so automatic about using. So of course it's the smartphone, and it's text notes, it's video, it's photos, it's geolocation, it's videos, all these things that they're doing, and they're doing automatically and reflexively. Let's harness that and take advantage of that. So does anybody, I hope someone knows what this is. Thank you, exactly. Is mobile the holy grail of consumer-generated ethnography? That's what we went in here thinking. We were wondering, wow, can we actually get them to film things in their universe, get access to all these meaningful things to them, and have some incredible looking deliverable come back at us? Can we? So what we decided to do was we did a couple of tests within our company. We're a global organization, so we crossed geographies and targets and categories to do a number of mobile pilots, and we used a lot of different apps as well, just to see what's working. And this is a little example of something that we put together. And this is a true story, and it is a movie, and absolutely no animals were harmed, so I want to assure you of that, although I believe there was a harangued husband. But everything's okay right now.
We are going on a road trip. We are traveling from Los Angeles to the Grand Canyon. So what we're really looking for is comfort for extended time in the car, clean inside. You want it to be clean and fresh, and thinking that you're the only person using this car. So we picked up the vehicle. We got a Dodge something. One thing about it was that it's not very clean. You can see there, and there's just bits about the car. It's a little bit grubby. So far, fairly positive though, in that it's big, the king of the road. The process with the guy was really nice. I mean, he was really super busy, but he actually took his time with people, so that was really good.
We did the Grand Canyon on day 3, which was amazing. On day 4, we drove from Williams to Hoover Dam. That was pretty amazing as well. A couple of things with the car. I think at the beginning I'd said that one of the things that I expect from a car would be, it's reliable. We're noticing that the brakes aren't as sharp as they should be. I also noticed that it popped up saying yesterday morning it needs an oil change, so that's a bit disappointing.
So that's Zoe, and she sends her regards. So this was fantastic, and when we did it, we were all really excited, and then she said to us, well, this is the reality. So this took multiple colleague meetings in order to design the tasks. This took video production. This took multiple hours of participation. This took infringing on her vacation. This took analysis, data immersion. This took story drafting, storyboarding, hours of researcher prep. It really takes a village to put this together. I mean, villages are fantastic, but it takes a village to put it together. I wanted to show you another study that we did just recently on trend-setting teens. So we're working with a fashion brand, and they really want to understand a certain segment. So we had them take their mobiles and give us some video of what's in their closet. And we gave them incredibly developed instructions, and we also gave them examples. And these are the two pictures we got from one person. And if you can tell, that's a guy, that's his bicycle, there's a tie on his bicycle, and that's his cologne collection. It's all very interesting, but it's a little standard. And as he was shooting his movie, he's passing and he's showing me, here's my cologne and here's this and that. He passes this. He's got a framed photo of Tupac Shakur. Now, if there are any qualitative researchers in there, this is like qualitative manna from heaven. This guy is a white guy from a very affluent neighborhood in Los Angeles. He's got a framed photo of Tupac. I want to know why. Luckily, we had another engagement with him, so I probed and probed and probed, and it was all very interesting. But this was a moment where we thought, oh, God, if we had just given him the task of mobile and just collected that, and that was the end of the project, I would have missed this vital piece of information. So what we really emerged with is that mobile is not the holy grail, I'm sorry to tell everyone, for qualitative. It's a tool. And getting the most out of it is about putting the most in. So we really took a step back and tried to think about, okay, what are the design principles? What's some sort of framework we can think about when we approach mobile qualitative projects? And I just want to say that this is now. These are the design principles now. And I think from everything that we've heard over the last day, it could be different in the next 6 months. So let's see, we'll meet up then. So what do we need to think about? Well, first, at the beginning, we need to think about the study design. Is this going to be mobile only? Is this going to be mobile with another engagement afterwards? Is it going to be an ethno afterwards? Is it going to be groups? You really need to think about that when you're thinking about how you're recruiting, when you're thinking about how you're putting together and designing the whole project. What else do you need to think about? You need to think about operating systems. Yes, all qualitative people who did not think they were techie, get in touch with your techie side. You need to really be prepared to troubleshoot across all different operating systems. And think about, you're going to be almost self-selecting if you just choose iPhone users. You need to think about the range of apps out there. Ooh, 5 minutes. Okay. There are tons of apps out there, and there are some that are dedicated to qualitative, and there are some that are also just kind of really cool, interesting apps like Evernote. You have to think about what you want, what tasks, what are your strategic objectives for the project. Think about your instructions for people. You really need to give them some incredibly well thought out instructions. They will not follow through with you. The process needs to be either as streamlined as possible. That's at worst as streamlined as possible. At best, it has to be fun. So it's a big, big pressure on you. In terms of tasks as well, think about what tasks you want to do. What we found is that it's really helpful if you think task and attach a response option to it. So really dictate for them, we want you to do this, and we want you to do this by video, or we want you to do this with photo, or we want you to do this audio, or else you're going to get a lot of pictures. And yes, pictures do tell 1,000 words. But that could be like millions and millions of words. It's helpful if you help them choose audio sometimes. Think about how you're engaging with them, how long you're engaging with them, and then what are you doing afterwards? How are you going to compile this information? Is this a report? Is this a video? These are all really the things. You got to do a lot of pre, post, and during work in order to make these projects successful. So why? It's a lot of work. Why bother? Well, because it gives you access in fresh and meaningful ways. Really, you're getting to the car after Zoe rented the car and hearing her say things like, I'm the king of the world. She's the king of the world. Also, you have these incredible tools at your disposal, these response mechanisms. Video gives you personal, authentic view into consumers' worlds. Photo gives you some things that maybe consumers don't understand, but you want them to collect them, and you'll gather the information and the meaning from them. Audio is an incredibly intimate mechanism. It's almost confessionary. For some people, certain generation, this feels really good. You tell your secrets into this. Not so much young people, but older people really love to talk on the phone. You can glean a lot from ellipses, from hesitations. It's sort of oral observation. You also have notes, a very low-tech way of just grabbing top of mind, very, very fresh moments of truth. And then geolocation, as we've talked about. So I just want to show you how mobile helped in this car rental project. That's not very good. I'll stay here. No offense. Yes, no tension. So I don't know if you noticed, but Zoe talked about a little bit of dirt, and it really offended her. So it's a speck of dirt. In my car right now, that speck of dirt, I wouldn't even have noticed it. Maybe I bought the car like that. But a car rental, you're sort of renting an illusion that it's yours. And this is something that we got from this piece of information, that we sort of tell ourselves this story that no one else has rented this car, no one else has touched this car, because it creeps you out. It creeps you out that multiple people have possibly touched this car before. So what does this mean for the car rental agency? Well, it means for them that they need to work harder to keep this story, this illusion alive. And it's not just hygiene, because I'm sure we've all rented cars and we've seen them spray whatever thing they've put on it, they've cleaned it. It's about the story of transporting you. It's not the hygiene. So what I wanted to leave you with, does anyone know Gustavo Dudamel? He's this so he's this brilliant, fabulous young conductor of the LA Philharmonic, and he's just breathed wonderful energy and life into it, and he's got crazy, crazy hair, and when he conducts, he just moves that hair, and you're into it. And what we wanted to say is that mobile qualitative needs an able conductor, someone who has got a zest for foraging, for making meaning, and for storytelling, because at the end of the day, our job hasn't changed. It's just a tool to help us do it. We want to capture the right data, we want to mine it, and we want to turn it into actionable insights. So I just wanted to leave you with this and let you know, get in touch with your inner Dudamel, and also your inner control freak. And I've used this word intentionally. Some people say, direct and guide, but I say control. Control the process. Because if you give respondents parameters, then they can be creative within that. But if you don't, if you let them meander, they're just not going to go to the places you want to go to, and then you must explain it to your client. This is not good. Okay. So I think I made it in time. Thank you so much. Any questions? Yeah, thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
As a quality, I'm sort of curious about how much of your tech controls freak had to come out during the onboard process and during the whole hand-holding process.
A lot.
Versus relying on your provider.
A tremendous amount. I mean, the provider was there, and I think a lot of these providers are there for you, but a lot of times your respondents defer to you because you've got you're trying to establish a relationship with them. It's sort of like your online communities, and you're the moderator for them, so they need a human being to attach to. A lot. And I mean, when we gave instructions about operating systems and how to upload and how to use, it's incredibly extensive, and I totally recommend that if you're embarking on this, you need to do it yourself. You need to know what it feels like to be a respondent, because you will note, even though you're wholly invested in it, that you're going to get frustrated very quickly. And I don't know if you were in the morning session, but Simac was saying that at a certain point he had his task was to look into his fridge for 3 days, and by the second day or the third day he said, I just can't even bother to do this anymore. And he was ethnographing himself, you know what I mean? So he was his own moderator. So it's really helpful to take yourself through the process.
This might be slightly taboo. Jane Dow with Firefly. How much does this cost? And was it cost prohibitive for your clients? And how do you make money at this if it's so involved?
I like the taboo. How much does this cost? This isn't cheap. This is not, I mean, this is not a cheaper option. This is not just the way online platforms are not cheaper focus groups. This is another option. So how much it costs? I think that, you know, as we get better and better at it, and as we train more people on it, we don't have to have as many senior people on it. So it's not as expensive, but it's not a cheaper option. And I think what's really great about being at this conference today is just hearing lots of people talking about this. And I feel like there's a critical mass around the thinking, and that will help us build client expectations and our own expectations. It's awesome. But the awesome needs to be worked. It needs to be conducted. So I can't give you the actual number of what it costs, but it's good. It's a good number. Yeah, your mother will be pleased. Yeah.
Hi, Kristen Schweitzer from Beacon Research, and also from Greenbook's new Qual blog that's blogging about the session if you want to read what I've been learning from all of you. My question pertains to the output. I just recently did a mobile ethnography that generated 800 pictures and 150 video clips after 5 days. Have you found any tips or tricks to manage the massive output that we are getting from these kind of studies?
Was it all good? Of good quality?
Not 100%, no.
Yeah,
There's always a little bit of throw it up because it's not good quality, but the majority is good quality.
Right. Well, we definitely have teams, and I would recommend just kind of rolling analysis and logging, but it's kind of like when you're doing video production work, you have someone logging things as the information or as your videos come in. So you really need someone, a team, to go through the information. But if you've done, you know, online platforms, it's a similar thing where the best thing for you is to do your analysis, or at least your kind of data collection, before you actually go into kind of thinking through and consolidating, or else you are going to be flooded. And I think it's fantastic that you got a lot of good stuff, because we definitely have quality issues. Great. Thank you.